Today's automation technique is a little tool that I use to clean up my desktop when I'm going to a client's or somewhere where I need to show them my computer. If you notice, my desktop is a little bit messy right now. I apologize for that, but it's a good demonstration. I go to the Services menu from my Application menu, and just like that, my desktop is clean. Do that. First, we're going to open up Automator and create a service workflow. So we're going to create a services menu, and we're going to say it's going to receive no input in any application. Now, what we're going to do first is we're going to find in here, in the files and folders, we're going to make a new folder. Now, we're going to come over to the variables, and we are going to find in there the today's date variable. And we're going to go ahead and drag that into the box. Now, the today's date variable is not quite what we want because it has slashes in it, and the Finder doesn't like slashes. So we want to go down here. If I back up here, I click on the little arrow and I choose Edit, and I go to the Format and choose Custom Format. I will drag the date in, then I will drag, I'll put a dash, then I'll drag the month in, then I'll put another dash, and I'll drag the day in. Now if you notice, it has dates in there. I always put when I'm creating folders with dates, I always put the year first, then the month, and then the date. That way you get it's sorted by year, then month, then date when it does its numerical sorting. But if you notice, it has the month as text instead of as by date, and it has one digit in the day instead of two. And so I'm going to click on the arrow next to here, and I'm going to choose the 2-digit, so that way your 12 doesn't end up with the same place as your ones. And I'm going to select the 2-digit here. And I noticed that there's a little bit of a bug there. I'm going to just go ahead and say done. I'm going to try and edit that again, and notice that it did actually change even though it didn't show it immediately. So don't worry about that. Just hit done and then go back and look and make sure that it did what you expected it to do. So there's our new folder, and I'm going to put that in a specific place. So I'm going to go Other in the Where box, and I'm going to go to my Home folder, and I've created a folder called Desktop Dumps. Pretty simplistic, not the best way of organizing things, but if you're in a hurry, it works very, very well, especially if you tend to keep a messy desktop. We need to go back into the general library, and I know these commands so I can find them pretty quickly this way. So we go set value of variable, and we go ahead and drag that in, and notice it creates the link. And it tries to guess that today's date is the variable that we want. That's not true. We want a new variable, and we're going to call it dump folder. Now we're going to go back into the files and folders here, and we're going to use the get specified finder items. And we're going to add one item, and that is the desktop. We are going to right-click on this Get Specified Items, and we're going to choose Ignore Input. Notice how the little arrow here disappeared. Now we're going to go into and get the Get Folder Contents, and we're going to drag that down, and this is going to get every file that's sitting on your desktop now, which is exactly what we want. Now finally, we are going to grab the Move Finder Items, which is right here, and we drag that down, and now we have some items that we can choose, but it's not, none of these are right. We actually want to grab that variable that we had before, and so we have this variable here that we drag into the pop-up. If you don't have these variables down at the bottom, I apologize. This is kind of an advanced setup. You click down here on this Show or Hide Workflows. Now finally what we do is we do a Save As, give it a file name, clean desktop 2. I'm going to save it. I'm going to do something special here with the name. Because I already have a folder with today's date, I'm going to just put a 2 in here. When we come into the services menu, there's a clean desktop and there's a clean desktop 2. And we run that clean desktop 2, the files disappear. And when we come into the desktop dumps, we have a file with a -2 at the end, and there are all of our files. For more information, you can go to www.dmevolve.com or talkingmac.com. Thanks.